Morning, good morning, good morning. Happy I was gonna say Friday. It feels like this is like with that music. This is like Friday, like it's Friday vibes, right? Good morning, everyone. I'm super pumped up and excited. Happy Monday, and welcome to another amazing Gap Mastermind where we focus on growth, action, and production. And guys, I'm pumped up today because I actually got to, spend some time browsing through this amazing special guest social media. And I have to say, I am quite impressed. I'm super excited. I have my notepad handy because I'm going to be taking notes, and I'm super pumped up. The chat. I mean, we have people from all over. We have Lauren McLane. We have as our special guest. It's still morning where she's at right now. It's 9 a.m. where she's at. It's 11 my time here in Central Standard Time here in Wisconsin. So we have people from all over the East Coast, Grafton, Wisconsin, New York City. I'm Cape Coral, Florida. So I'm pumped up and excited, guys. This is going to be a jam-packed, value-packed session because we're going to be talking about the number one driver in this business, which is lead generation. Okay. Leads. Lucy's pumped up. She's like, let's go, let's go. The name of the game is lead generation, right? You should always be focused on prospecting, right? You can have conversations with people wherever you go. That's the beauty of this industry. And this person this individual that's getting ready to bring some value today she's a master when it comes to lead generation, and she's built a system when it comes to having a client referral. And a little bit of her bio here, because I literally I was blown away. She's like luxury queen. She's a team leader. She has a secret when it comes to generating business, ongoing business at that. So guys, give it up for none other than our very own, our special Lauren McLane. How's it going, Lauren?
Wonderful.
Yeah, we can hear you a little bit low. I don't know if there's anything that we can do to get the volume up. And by the way, guys, we have, for those of you that are tuned in on here, we have at the end of this Gap Mastermind, we have a special announcement, and I'm super pumped up and excited for this because we just know we're going to make some big waves with this. But stay tuned to the end of the Zoom call because we can't wait to share with you guys this amazing announcement. But Lauren, how's it going?
Wonderful. As you said, it is 9 a.m. here for me, so we are going to get it started. I love that you have that party music going. And thank you all for being here this morning with us. I know your time is incredibly valuable. We're going to make sure it's worth it. If you are able to, turn those cameras on. Let's have some fun this morning, get engaged, and I am going to jump into it.
And Lauren, I don't know if there's anything else that you can do to bring the volume up a little bit more.
Let me see here.
We have to love tech, right? That's the beauty of Zooms.
Technology is my favorite. Okay, let's see. That's why I asked, because you never know what's going to happen here. Is it better?
Yeah, it's probably the earbuds. That's what the chat is saying.
All right.
Microphone, is that better?
There we go. Thumbs up. Okay. Let's get some fire emojis on that chat if we can hear her.
Much better. Good.
Much better.
We want to make sure that you can hear. That's very important. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining from all over. As he shared, my name is Lauren McLane. I am from the East Bay area in California. So if you are ever in my hood, make sure you say hi. I would love to meet you, and make sure that you go ahead and connect on social. IG is kind of my thing. Gino said it. Homes by Lauren on Instagram. But what I am going to share with you today is how you can build not just a referral business, but a consistent referral business, no matter where you're at. So a little bit about me, background, who I am, why I'm here talking to you today. I started in real estate at 21. I share that photo on the side just to show you that Even if you have a terrible fake tan and some Forever 21 jewelry, you can still sell real estate. I have done just about every type of real estate business. So I started on a team. I went to being a solo agent. I built a large team, and now I proudly run one of the highest producing small teams in Northern California. Currently, I would say I am in my most enjoyable and profitable form of business that I've ever run, and that's by referral. I've also been at every single type of company. So I'm assuming everyone here is at EXP, but I've been at a big box, I've been at boutique, and now I've been with EXP Luxury for 4 years this month. So yay, happy anniversary, me. It is the best move I've ever made. And I run a business that is 86% by referral. So if you know your numbers, that's kind of a big percentage for referral business. I'm also a legacy realtor. So that little cutie you see in the front there is my grandmother. I grew up, born and raised in a real estate family. She was the biggest luncheon lady in the world. So it is pretty much in my blood. If you see the little, I'm never too busy for your referrals. She was a Buffini disciple. So followed that program through and through. And that is how I started my real estate business, sans the little gold stickers. I would never do that, but I probably would have gotten more real estate business if I did from referrals. And I am a native Bay Area, born and raised, so I've been here my whole life, but I'm the only person in my family who is a California native. So half of my family's from New York, half of my family's from Canada. I always joke that I am the nicest asshole you will ever meet because I've got both sides. All right, so I'm going to ask some of you here, different levels have different devils. So depending where we are in our business, we've got different issues. So if you're a new agent, probably under 10 deals, you have time, but you probably don't have a whole lot of money. And to be honest, you probably need to work harder with more consistency. If you're in what we call the messy middle, you're doing consistently 10 to 25 deals, but you've probably hit a ceiling. You've got money, but you've got no time. You need more leverage and clarity. If you're a top producer, I know we all love that word so much, but you're probably running a team of some form and you have no time or money, probably. Everyone thinks they're going to get there and they're like, oh, I'm going to leverage. It's going to be great. I'm going to build this big business. And then you just start spending money on more things, thinking that that's going to be the solution. So you need to be profitable and find a way not to lose your mind. No matter where you are, running a successful referral-based business can solve this. So I'm going to ask you guys to participate here in the chat. I understand we have a diverse group here, but if you could just show me with a number where you are at in your referral-based business. So 1, you haven't concentrated on it at all. 2, you've been making an effort but don't feel like you're getting any momentum. Or 3, you believe that your referral-based business is under control, but you would appreciate a few tips. Where are we at, y'all? We've got some 1s, 2s, 3s. Oh, we're all over the place. Okay. I like it. Awesome. So hopefully all of you will get some takeaways today because I'm going to tell you, no matter where you are, some implementable skills that you can take away for your referral-based business. Okay, I love this analogy. So when you see these 2 photos, Chick-fil-A and McDonald's, what do you think? Throw it in the chat. If I just talk to myself, I'm going to get bored. So anybody? Anybody? All right, they are both fast food. Poison. Yeah, that's true also. Just
Quality. Quality and not quality.
Right. So they both do the same thing. If you go to McDonald's, you expect consistency. You know what you're going to get, but it may or may not come in one piece wrapped well on the floor. The attendee may have picked their nose as they handed it to you. Whereas you go to Chick-fil-A and someone has a smile ear to ear, they say, it's my pleasure to serve you. And they will do anything in the world to make your order right outside of their firstborn child. So it can be the same thing. It's the way that they make you feel, even if it's fast food. Just doing your job is not enough. So just doing your real estate job is not going to get you referrals. So how do you create a brand that people can't stop talking about? You make them feel important and you give them something to be a part of. So if anyone studied the human hierarchy of needs, being affirmed is the number one human need above shelter, above food, all of those things. People want to be seen and they want to be a part of something. The foundation of any referral relationship. So everyone knows this: know, like, and trust, which is also visibility, credibility, and profitability. If you know me, just like Gino said, you might have seen me on social media, you have awareness of who I am. If you like me or you think I'm credible, if you saw I was speaking on this mastermind, I probably have some level of credibility with you now if you've hopped on here to listen. And if you trust me, that means I have profitability with you. So not only have you bought into the fact that you know who I am, you think you like who I am, you also trust that I am going to do a good job with you, so much so that you will do business with me, you will refer your friends and family, and you will come work with me again. Hence the little client photo. These are clients that have worked with me like 5 times at this point. All right, let's start with the visibility. First, you have to identify who you're trying to get in front of. So who is your target audience? If you are taking notes for my ones there, you probably haven't thought about this yet. Think about it right now. Who is your target audience? Who do you need to get in front of? Where can you get in front of them? So identify at least 3 ways you can get in front of your audience. And then with what frequency do you need to get in front of them for it to be effective? Because we want to make sure that we're getting an ROI on our time. You don't want to just be doing things and spinning your wheels, which I think is where a lot of us end up. We maybe try something once and it doesn't necessarily work for us. And so we give up and try something new when we could have just been on the brink of having a really solid referral business. So for our new agents, that should be your sphere. So figure out at least 200 people you know. New agents, every time I tell them this, the first thing they say is, I don't know 200 people. Well, I guarantee you, you have more than 200 people on your Instagram or your Facebook or in your phone book. So go scroll through, and it should be every person that you've met. I will tell you that I have the most random connections that I have done business with. It is usually the person you know from your 10th grade science class that is going to hit you up and be like, hey, I saw you sell real estate. Can you help me? Then sometimes even your best friend, because people are weird about money and transactions and all of those things. If you are in what I call the messy middle. So anyone in the messy middle here where you're doing like 10 deals a year, but you've kind of hit a ceiling, or you're trying to, break past that into your next level? Nope, no messy middle here. All right, I guess I'll keep it moving. Well, if you are in the messy middle, you need to find your niche. So they say riches are in niches. Who is your group? So pare it down. So that is finding a network. So whether that's, they always say, if you have kids, you've got a moneymaker. Go to your kids' school, join the PTA, get involved in their sports, those kind of things, or your own personal hobbies. I know one of my big niches years ago when I started was CrossFit. I was really involved in my CrossFit gym, and I got so many deals from that because I went deep rather than going wide. I showed up all the time. I stayed connected with those people. I made sure to comment on their social media. So whatever your niche is, go deep with that group rather than trying to be a part of 10 different groups, because it's not going to be impactful. And we talked about hierarchy of needs, affirmation, connection. It's fulfilling for you too to get really deeply enmeshed inside of a group rather than just trying to get business from it. Does anyone have what they feel is a niche group they're a part of? I'd love to hear it in the chat. Anybody? All right. For our top produced yard sales, that's a good one. I haven't thought of that one. Yes. All right. For dance mom. There we go. I was a cheerleader and a dancer my whole life. All right. Hey, Laura. I love it. Football team. There we go. 2 listings from yard sales. All right, everyone. I don't see you doing a yard sale next week. I'm gonna be out there doing one myself at this point. For our top producers, you may have gotten your niche, you may be targeting your sphere, but other agents or corporate partners is something you may not have thought of. So either doing relocation attorneys, whether that's trust and divorce attorneys, or out of area agents. So that may be another layer of people you want to connect with. Oh, a neighborhood garage sale yesterday. I love it. Seniors, another good one. All right, visibility. Social media, I know I keep talking about it. If you are not capitalizing on social media, you are truly missing the boat. It is the easiest way to get in front of the largest audience for free. You can do all the advertising in the world. Social media is free. So if you're not doing it, please get on there. Go add me. I will be your cheerleader. I will root you on. Just get on it. People assume you know how to do real estate. They want to know if they like you. So your social media should be 80% personal and 20% work. You want people to know you have some level of success, but if they are following you for a real estate reason, they assume you know how to sell real estate. And be authentic. Do not just throw up those little Canva templates that say, just sold, here's the market data, whatever. The thing that gets the most engagement is you just being yourself. I swear the most messages I've ever gotten was a video of me sitting on my couch, eating chips with my cat, talking about how I had locked myself outside. So literally just your day-to-day life is going to get way more engagement because most people are afraid to be themselves. So if they see someone truly stepping into who they are, it's magnetic to them because it's authentic, it's vulnerable, it draws people in. And it will help you find your people. You'll find people like you by being yourself. It's a crazy, crazy phenomenon, but it's true. For your types of content, rule number one, get a cat. There you go. There's a lot of cats that need homes out there. Or just follow mine, Sorenzo Ferrari. He's phenomenal. For your content, you want to make sure it's entertaining, educational, and inspiring. So mix it up. You don't want to just go all funny reels. You don't want to go all educational, and you don't want to go too woo-woo either. So make sure you're mixing up your content. If you can't figure out what to post, you have no excuse these days because ChatGPT will do it literally all for you. So if you wake up in the morning, you're like, I want to post today, but I'm nervous, I don't know what to post. Go on there and say, I am a realtor in X area and my audience is this. I'm trying to figure out what I should post today. It will literally tell you. It's kind of freaky. And then your ego is not your amigo. So everyone says that, oh, I hate the way I sound. I hate the way I look. One, no one thinks about you as much as you think about yourself. They're going to see something, even if it's a little cringe, they're going to think about it for 2 seconds and keep scrolling past it. And two, hopefully, if the goal is to get clients, you're going to have to meet these people. So they're going to know what you look like and they're going to know what you sound like. I had someone tell me, oh, I'll get on social media when I lose 5 pounds. Okay, you're not going to take any clients until you lose 5 pounds because they're going to see you. So just be who you are and try not to worry about it. And if you're truly worried about it, I hated it when I first got on social media. I would record stuff, click post, and like throw my phone in the other room. So literally just post it, never look at it again. And I just wanted to show some examples that it works. If you get on there, people will come to you. These are all examples of clients I've gotten from social media recently. And then my favorite in the middle is, a colleague that said she was inspired to post videos because she saw my videos. So I just want to throw it out there that you never know who you're inspiring. People need you to be brave and be yourself. Your branding. This is a huge part of visibility. People should see your branding and associate it with you without even having to think about it. And branding doesn't just include your logo, it includes the way you show up and the experience people expect to have with you. For example, all of my branding is lime green. I am very loud. I like sparkles. I like pink. If I show up that way, it's not going to shock anyone. But if you show up in black head to toe and one day you decide to show up in disco ball pants with your hair in a top knot, your clients might look at you a little funny. So what is your brand in general? And then don't be afraid to stand out. Create a brand that's authentic to you. So all of my branding is lime green because I had a Ninja Turtle bike when I was a little kid that I was obsessed with, and lime green became my favorite color. And when I made my branding that, everyone thought I was a nut. And now my branding is the Be Real for all of our local news stations because no one else has lime green branding. So don't be afraid to stand out and do exactly what you want. Networking. Networking is another huge part of a referral-based business. So find your people and figure out how to get around them consistently. So one of my networks is local business. So if you see that first photo, that is a small business event. I am constantly showing up with my local businesses. As I said earlier, go deep, not wide. So figure out what your things are going to be and pour all into them. And then give back to that community without expectation, and the referrals will come. So I am part of a BNI networking group. If you have them in your area, I highly recommend them. But before I ever got referrals, I was president. I was volunteering to put on events. I was doing all the things, not running up to everyone being like, hey, when are you going to send me a referral? Because we all know that person. It's creepy and weird. So don't do that. Reciprocity, if you put it out there, it will come back to you. And put yourself in the circles you want to sell in. So if you want to raise your price point, start hanging out with more high net worth people. Or for me, for example, this is my fast forward movement group. I wanted to start doing more to more agent to agent referrals. So I started showing up at more events where those high producing agents would be. And I can't stress this enough. There are no rules in this business. If there's not an arena for your community, create one. 2 years ago, I made an agent networking group that we now have probably 200 agents at each event because I saw a need and there wasn't a group for it. So I made it up. So if there's something that you see that doesn't exist, doesn't mean you can't do it. All right, credibility, I'm going to kind of, briefly go over this because I think everyone understands it. But to gain credibility, you want to provide education. So position yourself as an expert, whether that's social media, YouTube, your newsletters. Also repurpose your content. There's no reason you have to recreate the wheel. If you make a video for YouTube, use it in your newsletter. If you need, ideas on how to be an expert, if you're newer, put on Google alerts for real estate news. You will get news articles to your inbox that you can either summarize, green screen, do a blog on, rip off and duplicate. You don't have to, invent something new. Social proof, you want to make sure you're sharing your success stories and testimonials. So if you'll see here, every time we have closings, we've got a photo of it. We're getting reviews. Everyone likes a cute dog or a baby. So make sure you are sharing those stories of how you've helped other people that they're going to want to be a part of. And then giving back, just like sharing on this mastermind today. If you have an opportunity to give back to other agents or your local community, take it, because you never know where referrals are going to come from. I've had plenty of situations where I've done a mastermind or shown up and given a course just for fun. And later on, someone, whether it's a lender, an agent for another area, will say, hey, I saw you, presenting at that class, and I have someone in your area that may want to buy or sell. Now for the fun part. How do we make this profitable? Magic moments. So again, just doing your job is not enough. So we have to figure out how we sprinkle in magic moments. You should be tracking everything. I know I was very resistant to this when I started my business. Everyone tells you it all the time, but it will help you immensely when you're trying to track things down the road. Keep a forward file on each client. So that's family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. Notes every time you talk to them. So the next time you call them, you should be calling your sphere once a quarter. You have something to talk to them about, and they're going to think you're amazing because you remembered a detail about their life when in reality you have it in your CRM. It doesn't matter if you were in their neighborhood. I was just driving by going to an open house and I thought of you. Or their kid plays baseball and you know that it's championship season, call to check in on how they're doing. Or if part of your recruitment strategy is agents. If you see an agent has a huge sale, call them and say congratulations and see how they're doing. Thoughtful touch points with clients. This is huge and makes all the difference. So going above and beyond during and outside of the transaction. So during the transaction, we call these magic moments, but it's something outside of your job that you wouldn't expect. So if there is, a big moment in the transaction, so all contingencies have been removed, send them a drink coupon for a local restaurant. Or if a referral partner has a big win, someone who sent you a deal, send them a card in the mail. A handwritten note goes a long way. or branded gifts for a first time meeting with a client, or something else we do are showing survival kits for buyers. If people have kids with them and you give them stuff for their kids, they will love you forever. But little tiny things that can move the needle. We have these like branded bags. We get them on Alibaba for like $1, but people think they're phenomenal. I think they're phenomenal. I get way too excited about swag, but just little things that can make you stand out. Life events, so birthdays, house anniversaries, condolences are huge. I hate to say it, but everyone says they remember more than anything else that people that didn't show up for them when they had a loss. So if you see someone in your world that has lost someone, send them flowers, send them a card. New babies, little things you can do. We have a VA that monitors this, but sending a new baby blanket, sending a card. I'll get to this a little bit later, but there's a program called Send Out Cards where you can steal a photo from their social, slap it on a card, and send it to their house, and they'll think you are so thoughtful because you now have a picture of their new baby that you think is just as cute as they do. Probably not, and it has showed up on their doorstep. Also, creating opportunities to say thank you. So psychologically, anytime that you can get someone to say thank you, it edifies your relationship. So when you send something out, you want to make sure you're calling afterwards to say, hey, I just want to make sure you got this. Because one, it's going to point out that you went above and beyond to deliver something to them. And they're going to have to say thank you. And then that reminds them that you did something positive for them. So a few things we do: send out your HUD statements every year. I know a lot of people do this, but it is one less thing when people are going through tax time that they have to search for. And then you send a little note with it saying, hey, I thought you might need this. And then call after and say, hey, I just wanted to make sure you got your HUD. I know you're probably doing your taxes right now. They're going to say, oh my God, thank you so much, because everyone knows how terrible taxes are. A yearly equity review. So this is your opportunity, one, to be a hero and show people how much money they've made since you've sold them their house. And two, an opportunity for another sale. That is when someone will raise their hand and say, oh, actually, I'm probably getting a job relocation, so I may need to sell my home. I'm so glad you reached out. Community event invitations. So I throw a lot of events. I'm gonna go on to that, because I don't like calling people for no reason. So it's no coincidence that we have one community event a quarter, and I'm supposed to call everyone in my database once a quarter. Because if I call someone and I invite them to a party, they're not going to say, you're a weirdo for inviting me to a party. You want to also be a go-to resource. So you should, outside of a transaction, be the resource that everyone in your community goes to when they need something. You want them to think, oh, I need a painter. I know Lauren's got someone. I need someone for flooring. I need a daycare. I'm going to call Lauren. So community event newsletters, market updates, monthly items of value outside of real estate. So we send a mailer that is like, in the spring home maintenance tips. We send tax tips. We send finance tips, not just, hey, who do you know that wants to buy or sell real estate? An adopt a buyer program. So when you have the listing, leave branded things behind with info about the neighborhood. You know, agents do not follow up. So it is very likely that when the time comes around for that person to sell, they're going to call you because they're going to have no idea what their agent's name was. Quarterly community events. So I just touched on this a little bit, but I wanted to go a little bit deeper. If you are not doing events, I truly believe that this is one of the best ways to generate referral business. It gives you a reason to invite, like I just touched on. It gives you an excuse to give back. It gives you an opportunity to get in front of new people and create communities. We talked about everyone wants to be part of something. This is how you create community. So make sure that you're creating events that resonate with you and get you excited. If you're not doing something that you're excited about, it's going to show, and no one else is going to have fun either. So one of the events we do is a dog and taco party. I like dogs and I like tacos. So we came up with an event that would give back to a local animal rescue. We get a taco truck. We got a pet photographer. We play games. It's a great time. And probably a part of the reason it's a great time is because I love it and I'm genuinely excited about it. So again, create your own thing. If there's something you love, you want, a cats and mimosas party, then do that. We always include a charity and have activities for kids. One, it feels good to get back to your local community. Two, you'll get more exposure. They'll share it. Three, it's a good way to work in activities for kids. So this photo is at one of our holiday parties. They are putting together fairy jars for people going through hospice. So there's a ton of parents that were like, I want to bring my kid to do a craft for hospice. And we feel great about, bringing those back to our community. And then whenever you're doing an event, make sure you memorialize it. So I learned this early on, always have a photographer, always have a videographer, and then have a way for people in your community to share those photos. One, it's good content for you. Two, it creates FOMO within your community, so more people will come to your next event. And then lastly, you want to have a system for invite and follow-up. So make sure you're recording your SOPs so you don't have to start over every single time. Some of the things that we've learned along the way, always have a QR so people can register. It's a lead funnel. Follow up after. Photos are a really good way to follow up after, which is another reason to memorialize it. SOP, great question. Standard operating procedure. So if you don't have SOPs for the way you do things currently, slow down, take the time, whether it's you or someone on your team, to write down step by step what is needed, not just for events, really for every aspect of your business, but events are a good one. We have a community event SOP that I'm going to give you a way to get access to at the end of this, but make sure you are writing down the way you do everything so you don't have to think so hard next time. And then becoming more than just a realtor. So this is something that we have picked up as of late that I think is so valuable, and I highly recommend that you start doing this as part of your business. But becoming a trusted advisor and a part of their client's lifetime success. So we do something now that is called a growth plan. So not only are we helping our client through the transaction, giving them a yearly equity review, we now do a tailored growth plan, which is a 3, 5, and 10-year plan that we tell our clients we're going to go through with them yearly. So one, we're creating a goal and roadmap for them, but two, we are building in business for ourselves. And you should do this with your trusted partners. So with your lender, with your financial advisor, with your trust attorney, maybe an appraiser, your group of people that you are going to work with this client for life, and they will be so thankful to you, because currently I know most people just think about it when it comes to mind, like, oh yeah, I'd love to buy an investment property, but maybe next year, or I'd love a vacation home, but maybe when the time's right. Through doing this, you help people see a feasible way to get to their goals. So these photos are just one family that I've worked with now probably 5 times. I helped them buy their first house, sell their first house, buy their dream home, buy a vacation home with their family, and now buy their own office. And I can tell you, I will be working with that family for the rest of my life. And it's a really cool experience to be a part of. So I highly recommend enacting that program. Okay, disclaimer, you cannot fully automate yourself out of a referral-based business. I always say systematize the simple so you can personalize what's important. So I'm going to give you some tips on how you systematize things. I know there are some agents and teams who try and systematize everything. A referral-based business is not for you if that's what you're trying to do, because you still need personalized touches. So tips for scaling your referral business. You need leverage. I had to highlight my wonderful production partner, Gabriella, there, because she is one of the people that gives me a lot of leverage, but leverage allows you to do more in less time. Automating your processes gives you less to think about. It allows you to have consistency, so a client experience you and your clients can count on. And analytics and data. Like I said, I am not naturally a numbers person, but as soon as you realize how empowering it is to track your numbers and your sources of business, you will become one. So you'll have insight on what works and what doesn't. Some smart tools that you can use for automating. Calendly is amazing for scheduling. So I have a Calendly link in all of my emails where someone can just book an appointment with me. So if they are thinking, I want a valuation or I'm thinking about selling rather than having to text me back and forth. I have clients that will just click the link and book a time with me and put in the notes saying, I think I want to maybe sell my house. Okay, great. We love those kind of messages. And I didn't have to go back and forth and check my calendar 4 times. High Note. Is anyone in here using High Note? Anybody? All right, good. We've got at least one. If you are not, I'm going to put you on game right now. High Note is amazing. So if you are sending those equity valuations, a follow-up to a listing presentation, a new team member proposal, you should be putting it in High Note. 1, it's impressively presented. 2, it lets you have some like super secret back-end ninja analytics. So you can see when someone's looking at something, how many times they look at something, and it's a really good tool to know when to follow up with someone. I get, alerts from High Note from clients that I sent a proposal to a year ago that were thinking about listing, and that tells me to go call that person right away. And then I look like a superhero because I read their mind. VAs, if you are not using a virtual assistant, that is how we automate the simple. So things like birthday cards, anniversary cards, wishing happy birthday on Facebook, all of the minutia that is not me personally making a call, we have VAs do that, and it allows for a lot more affordable assistance. So if you are in a place where you are either a newer agent or you're in the messy middle, had I known about VAs 10 years ago, I would have saved a lot of money and a lot of headaches. Start with a VA. Send out cards. Send out cards is what I was talking about, where you can put pictures on the front of a card. We have our VAs go through my Facebook and look for quote unquote magic moments. So if someone has a loss, if they have a baby, if their kid graduates high school, he sends a send out card that says, we're so excited for you, love the McLane team, with the picture on it. That is a very small thing that you can automate that makes a huge difference. Fellow, does anyone use Fellow? Fellow is a newer program for automated valuations. It pretty much is HomeBot on steroids if you've used HomeBot. I love Fellow. It's an opportunity for your clients to raise their hand, whether it's buyers or sellers, and it gives you a note, much like High Note, but you're not proactively sending it out, and you can see exactly what they're looking at and know to follow up with them. Client Giant, if you are in like the top producer status where you do not have the time to go drop off little gifts, Client Giant is a great option that will deliver gifts quarterly. Hit 'em Up is one of my favorite tools. It's customizable group texts. So it allows you to create groups of people you talk to often. So I'll have like my A clients, I'll have my agents, but you can still go in and customize the text message in a much more rapid format. Flowdesk, if you are not using Flowdesk for your newsletters, they are beautiful. I highly recommend it, and they're very easy to use. It's much more user-friendly than MailChimp. ChatGPT, kind of like I talked about earlier, everyone has been, beat over the head with ChatGPT lately. But the biggest thing I like it for is if you're weary of social media currently, ask it to create you a 30-day social media plan, and it will tell you exactly what to do. So that is what I recommend if you're not doing social currently. If you are, but you're not capitalizing on it, use ManyChat. So ManyChat creates lead funnels where you post something and it'll say, for example, if you want the recording of this presentation, comment referral, and you upload the link on the back end and it automatically sends. So you're not having to send it to every single person. Or if you want to get your buyer guide out there, comment buyer and it will send you my home buyer guide. Building a referral business is simple when you break it down. Get clarity on who your people are, identify how to get in front of them, make your brand undeniably recognizable, get in front of them consistently and provide so much value that they have no reason not to trust and work with you. And when they do, provide an experience that makes them feel so special that they would be crazy not to work with you again, and tell their friends about it. And then you have to put systems in place to maintain it, because you're going to create so much business that you're going to need to automate some things. And the law of reciprocity is real. If you put good into the world, I truly believe it comes back to you. If you guys need anything ever, I'm here as a resource. I mean it. Feel free to reach out. Let's stay connected. There is my QR to my link tree, my Instagram, that is my cell. And if you DM me referral on my Instagram, I will give you my step-to-step guide for community events. Does anyone have any questions?
That was insanely amazing. Let me tell you, I'm actually getting text messages from people saying that this was super valuable for them. Like they have tools already that they can start utilizing today to automate a lot of these processes. But I love that you touched on the luxury experience that you're giving to your clients and branding, how you stand out. I remember when me and my wife first got started in real estate like 8 years ago. First of all, like we leverage social media to the max, and one of the things that we did to stand out was just like you said with the lime green, we had violet, like we had like magenta color branding. And we got like people were talking to us about, like, hey, like, you guys look like a T-Mobile ad or Victoria's Secret and this and that. And we ran with it. But it was an amazing way to stand out and got people talking, right? So this was valuable, guys. If you have any questions, drop them in the chat, unmute yourselves, raise your hands. We'll pin you up on here. I'm gonna bring my sis here, Rebecca, because I know she always has some amazing questions to ask as well. Let me see if we can add her here. There we go. There we go.
Hi, y'all.
Whoa.
Wow, this was a lot of value. And to the person who asked about SOPs, for a long time, I didn't know what that meant either. And although I was already doing it, that technical term was like, wait, what? And so I think that is a solution for so many things because we want to create duplicatable systems. And many times we're just on the go, just doing stuff. And if you don't stop to record what you're doing, it's hard for you to leverage help. So like when you do get the VA, you're like, what am I telling them to do? But if you have recorded all the things that you currently do, it's easy to say, okay, well, I'm going to give you this task and here are the things that I typically do for those tasks, and it makes it easy. And if you don't have it, of course, start today. Start creating your step-by-step processes so that you have a duplicatable system that you could pass off to someone else and be able to start growing your team, whether that is a virtual team or a actual, production team. You want to have those things written out for you. So do we have any questions in the chat?
I see Melissa asked, do you use Hit 'em Up for event communication?
I do. So we try and, people have amnesia when it comes to things where everyone's just busy. So we try and make sure even if someone registers for an event, we're reminding them multiple times. But I find that text message is much more effective. So even though we send out an email, and with Hit 'em Up, the nice thing is you can customize it. It's almost like a mail merge. So if I'm sending a text message to me, it will say, hey, Lauren, I know you just got my email. I just wanted to make sure you saw it because I really want you to be able to join us. Then it looks more personalized rather than just this is a blasted email. And then I'll usually follow up, the day before saying, hey, just a reminder, can't wait to see you tomorrow because people forget and it's not necessarily top of their priority list. But then they know I'm watching them and I'm planning on them to be there. So you get a much better turn up rate when you do that.
That's awesome. I love that. Any other questions? Feel free to raise your hands, unmute yourselves.
I see one here from Melissa. Says, do you partner up with a lender or different type of industry vendor for your events to help with expenses?
Yeah, we definitely do. We try to. And I try and, spread the love. I don't want to just hit up the same person all the time to contribute to things. And since we do both agent and community events, that makes us, so we want to spread it out even more. But the answer is yes. I just always want to make sure there's going to be some value for them. You don't want to burn your bridges. So figuring out what would be valuable to that vendor as well. And if you tell them you're going to give them exposure, make sure you're delivering on it. And whenever someone co-sponsors with me, I always give them a little gift and a card. Again, it goes a long way just to show appreciation. But you can branch out of just lenders too. We have an Easter event coming up where we have a lumber yard sponsoring because they're local. We've got a mover, we've got a lender. So get creative with those sponsors also, because there are industries that don't traditionally get opportunities to do that may want to.
A great one. I think I've teamed up like with our insurance person as well, which has been a really great partner for us. Even our title company has partnered with us. There's so many different industries. Home warranty usually is happy to help out in some way. So yeah,
Yeah,
great
and
question.
there's a lot of vendors that have a sponsorship budget. So certain corporate lenders, like they're looking for ways to spend money. Home warranty is another one that typically gets a budget. So don't be afraid to ask those people either, because that is part of their job.
Yeah, absolutely. I also love that you use ChatGPT on the 30-day content calendar, which will take a lot of the guesswork out of creating content creation. And I've even had it create like our scripts for us. And it's not always foolproof, but it's a really great foundation. And then you just tweak it up to personalize it even more and spice it up, make it yours.
Well, and the more you use it, the more it gets to know you too. I mean, the other day I was asking for a caption for something and it was like, oh, do you want to run the photo by me? And I was like, well, I didn't think I did, but I do. And so I put like 4 of the photos I was thinking of, and it was like, oh, here, let me give you a rundown of how you should use every photo and what the caption should be. And I was like, oh, please, I didn't even know I was asking for that, but I will take it.
You have an
That's
assistant
awesome.
looking out for your best interest.
Exactly.
Love it.
The robots, I will take it.
I love it. I've been using it before.
Yeah, I was gonna say ChatGPT is a game changer, and something. I mean, if you guys are hesitant about paying what the $20-$30 for the upgraded version, you can create multiple GPTs. Something that I did, and I suggest that everyone, if you want to customize it and make it communicate to your level. Something that I did was I created a superhero version of myself, and I uploaded pretty much my disc behavior type, my traits, everything about me. Bio, images, videos, everything. And now every time I feel stuck, if I need a little bit of help on marketing or whatever the case is, I can literally have my GPT as my assistant help me get through that obstacle. So it's a game changer for your business. So make sure you guys are implementing ChatGPT. She's
Next level.
created
I'm
a
not
superwoman.
that techie, but now I'm gonna go do it.
Yeah, it's really fun. It's really fun. Any other questions, guys?
I think I saw someone asked about VAs. Monica, did you have a question about VAs? See here. I think she said, what tasks do you have them do? So VAs can do just about anything for you. We have 3. They're specialized. So one is our agent success coordinator, one is our marketing coordinator, and one is general admin. So the way we run that is we have a general task list. I would say anything you can do remote, a VA can do. And sometimes they can do it better than you. So just let them do it. And it's also, between $4 and $8 an hour rather than $30 an hour USA labor. So if anyone needs a recommendation for a VA, I have a great VA company.
That's wonderful. I think I've used ChatGPT also with some of the tasks for the VAs. If you don't have the SOP, it will create the SOP for you. And so you're like, what do I tell my VA to do? And you just give it a general idea of what you want, and it'll give you these step-by-step things. And okay, again, you can tweak it, customize it to fit what you want and what you need. But it really is so helpful like that to create a list for you.
Melissa asked, how did you learn to let go of control to have a VA help? And that's something that I also struggle myself. I was just having this conversation with Rebecca. It's like, you want leverage, obviously, but I like to perfect things, right? And especially when it comes to, client experience and things of that nature. So how did you learn to cope with the mindset of, like if I do this, I can continue to scale and continue to create leverage for my business?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think necessity for one, because I just got to a point where I needed more help. And 2, baby steps. So I think a lot of times when things don't go right with staff, the onus is on us because we haven't taken the time to maybe make the SOP or to train them or to clearly explain what we're asking for rather than expecting they live inside our head. I've definitely been guilty of that and then been like, why didn't you do exactly what I wanted? So slowing down to one, communicate what you're looking for, and mirroring. A lot of times now when I have someone do a task for the first time, I have them do it with me rather than just saying, hey, go do it. And then they do it wrong. And then I'm pissed because it was done wrong when they were set up for failure in the first place. Another good thing, if you are, opposite times of your VA or you can't sync with them, is Loom videos. So Loom is a program that allows you to record what you're doing. That is also another great tool for creating an SOP manual, because it doesn't require that you go and write down every single thing as you're doing it. You can record it. So if at some point someone needs to send, step in for you, you can just send them that video and say, here you go, good luck, have fun. Here's the video step by step. I'm on my way to an appointment. And they still can, play that back.
That's huge. That's huge. And that's, and you can use, yeah, I was going to say, you can use High Note and have the video uploaded into High Note and have a full presentation for your VA on whatever that task is. So again, this is using all the tools that Lauren has mentioned already. So huge.
Yeah, and once you have someone step in and take over some of those things for you, you'll wish you had done it sooner, because there's a lot of stuff that we do day to day that we don't need to be doing. That takes away from, prospecting or what you could be investing in making those referral relationships. So the more you offload, the better off you are.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
We're always going to be constantly training them as well, and they're going to be as good as we train them. So I know some people have been frustrated because they feel like the VA doesn't have enough or they're not doing well enough, but it really comes down to what is the task list that you're giving them, and have you train them properly on how to do those things, and be patient. They're not going to learn right away. They'll make a mistake, but you go in and you teach them. But this is how you grow and expand. If we never delegate, there's only so many hours in a day that we can do it all, right? So we won't grow this way. You won't grow big. You won't be able to have a further reach, because you are overwhelmed with all the different tasks you're doing. And so that next level of growth is hiring out some assistants to help you go further.
Yeah, and just like we're constantly training ourselves. I mean, it's always a learning and evolving process. As you grow, so does your staff needs to grow too. The other thing I found helpful with that is making sure that you have ongoing projects, because we're all guilty of, we get too busy and we're like, well, I feel like my staff did anything today. Well, you didn't give them anything to do because you were running around like a hurricane. So if they have, 5 projects in the background they can be working on, then they have work to do. So all those, big rock things that were like, would be nice to have. I would like a brand new buyer presentation. Give that to them and let them work on it when you don't have other stuff to give them.
I love that. Thank you so much, Lauren. Give it up, guys. Let's blow up the chat. Let's give it up for Lauren for not only bringing value, but spending time with us. That was amazing. We appreciate everything that you did for us. And so for those of you that are still on the call, I promised you guys a special announcement, right? So I don't know and I'm going to need Rebecca's help with this. And we need some fire, some waves in the some beach waves or something on the chat.
Excited about this next announcement.
So
all right, well, do you want to say it? You want to go?
I'll let you go. I get too excited and I start saying things that I might not want to hear.
Well, last year we had an amazing event that was billed at sea on a cruise, and it went really well. So many people attended that event, and we are doing it again this year. So we've been tasked to organize and plan this event, and we're so excited. This time we've added another night, so it's 5 days, 4 nights. On the MSC Seascape, going to the Bahamas. And it's an amazing time to learn and grow, network, but also bring your family. We had so many families come out last year together. You bring your husband, your wife, your kids, your sister, your brother, your mother, your father, bring them all. they won't want to go to the event. That's okay. That's for you. But you'll have such an amazing time together on this cruise. And I think one of the special things about bringing your family is that they get to see what you do. They get to be a little part of your world, but you're doing it in a very fun way. So it was a really special trip. You have an opportunity to join us again this year. It's going to be, when is it, Gino?
It's going to be August 3rd through the 7th. And so right now, I make sure to drop the link on the chat. It's buildatsea.com. Once you go into the landing page, you're going to see all the event details. We're going to still be adding more things to the itinerary because this is going to be amazing, guys. It's a huge opportunity for you to network, learn, grow, but also have a fun experience with your family members, with your team members, with your organization, whoever, right? Bring them to this event. This is an amazing opportunity for you guys to learn and grow. But a little bit, we're going to be touching on workflows, AI, magnetic ways to, to attract clients, how to grow your teams, your revenue share organizations. We're going to have an amazing lineup of speakers as well. But we have 4 of them that have already confirmed. We have none other than the man himself, Brent Gove, is going to be at this event. This is going to be, if you guys have heard Brent, you guys know that he brings the fire, right? And we have our very own Veronica Figueroa that's going to be in there as well. We have Gil Ramos and Carlos German as well that are going to be all delivering value. And we have another list of speakers that we can't announce just yet, but just know it's going to be impactful. I'm super excited for this. This is going. So right now, if you go to the link, you can pre-register. We have all the information on there. It's going to take you to a link that looks like this, and you can book your cabins. You can get for your family. Any questions that you guys have, feel free to reach out to myself or Rebecca. But this is an amazing opportunity for you guys to grow, learn, and have fun, right? This is it's real estate, right? And something that Brent Gove has always mentioned is real estate is fun, right? We have to make sure that we always incorporate the fun in our business. So I don't know if there's anything else that you want to add, Rebecca.
That's part of our core values, fun. And so we're making real estate fun again, and this is how we're doing it. So we had an amazing time last year, and this year we're doing it again. Brent Gove himself was so excited to attend last year. He was mesmerized, and he's like, I'm going again this year. And so if you haven't had a chance to meet him, this is an opportunity to get upfront and personal with him. He did a mastermind in his own suite. And so you'll get to be a part of that. You'll get to be a part of rubbing elbows with these amazing speakers. And of course, we have more to announce coming up soon. So stay tuned, check out the website, get your pricing. And like anything else, the early bird gets the worm. Right now, we've got early bird pricing, cabins on a cruise. I don't know if you've booked a cruise before, but the earlier you book it, the better pricing you get. So book now. And what'll happen when you first register is that you're going to submit your information, and our cruise planner, Anna, is going to get back to you, and she's going to give you personalized, customized pricing on your needs. So whether you're just coming alone or if you're bringing your family, whatever that is, she'll get your specifics and she'll get pricing customized for you. So go ahead and check it out now. Plan for it, planned, so that by August, you're with us cruising together. It's a beautiful time in Florida. The weather is amazing, perfect for cruising. So join us. It's going to be awesome.
I'm pumped up and excited. Maybe we can get Lauren over there. Who knows?
And we had a lot of
we need Lauren in
California, Wisconsin, New York,
I'm
Canada.
always down for a cruise, so.
Yeah,
let's go,
us.
Lauren. Lauren McLane in the Bahamas. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. All right, guys. I appreciate everyone for tuning in to the Gap Mastermind. We'll make sure to have the recording up for you guys and make it a productive week and an amazing Monday. Talk soon.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much.
Happy hustling.